Hi everyone, Kylie here and welcome to my plan with me for July. So I did manage to get this done a few days early, and yes, it is going to be a pop-up month like I sort of indicated it would be at the end of June. If you haven't been here for a pop-up month previously, I do that at the end because it adds a bit of bulk to the layout. So yeah, you'll see that after I've done all the weekly layout pages in here. So June's done, we're in the middle of the year. I don't know, honestly, time has no meaning now. It's just really bizarre, but anyway, we'll leave that be. This is, of course, my birthday month. And you will maybe have noticed a really super quick cut there. I had the lyrics for this month written in, but I didn't actually have them laid out, so I just quickly turned off the camera to do that layout. And this month's lyrics are from Xanadu, and it is of course the song Xanadu. A million lights are dancing and there you are, a shooting star, an everlasting world, and you're here with me eternally. This is of course Olivia Newton-John, and it is from one of the most amazing movies. I say this because I was a teenager in the 80s, and so of course I think it was incredible. Anybody who is younger who has seen it, maybe not at that period of time, might think I'm crazy for thinking that it's a good movie. I didn't say it was good, I said it's amazing. They're two very, very different things. And this, you know, I love the music of it. I know it's bad. I'm not pretending that it's not, but, you know, these are the things from our youth. This is what happens. They take on a whole different life of their own, and they become incredible for nostalgia more than anything else in some ways. But yes, it is Xanadu. So June has been another quite busy month, which is why I've done a bit of a simple layout for July. So the pop-up itself is really quite easy. I was planning on doing something different, but it just didn't quite work. And so I didn't have time to sort of rework it. So I just chose a really simple sort of 3V fold, sort of landscapey type look, and then took the design elements for each part of that. And that's what I'm doing for the weekly layouts. So yeah, this is the middle layer that has the sort of, I guess, the plants on it. And then there'll be one with like the mountain range and one with the these little flowery type things, which aren't really, it's a very abstract landscape. I'm not pretending that it's not. But yeah, they're just really nice and simple. And it's basically meant I didn't have to do a lot of time laying out my bullet journal. I could just really sort of draw them in, which saves a lot of time. And I seem to be doing a bit more of late, which I'm actually quite liking. So when I was doing really structured themes and layouts, I got really spooked because I screwed things up a bit a couple of times. Mind you, I can't. It's just my bullet journal, but anyway. Yeah, I messed things up a few times, so I took a lot of time to like pre-drawing and making sure that I got it right. And I'm just being a little bit freer with it all this year. I think largely because I'm just a bit time poor and I don't really have an ability to do anything else. But yeah, I'm liking the little bit more that I'm trusting myself, I guess, in that respect. That I can sort of freehand some of this stuff and just, you know, not think about it. Because things like this pattern, I do this pattern a fair bit when I'm like sort of mark making in my little art practice that I do. So I can do this with my eyes shut. I can just choose different ways of doing it and everything else, and it's quite easy. So when I'm doing those sorts of things in here, I don't really have to plan ahead, which makes my life easier. And we're all for making my life easier where we can at this point in time. As you can tell, I forgot to turn the camera back on when I started watercolouring that. So yeah, you don't get my dodgy painting. It's all nicely done, and that's nice and easy. But yeah, I hope that your summer or winter, regardless of what you're, sort of spent the first month in now, is going well. We've had quite a bit of a cold snap down here in Tasmania. Quite a few frosty mornings and a bit of rain actually, which it's just started raining again. And I don't mind that. I wanted to move to Tasmania partly for the climate. I mean, it was partly because we could buy a chunk of land and it wasn't going to bankrupt us to build our dream home on. It's partly just, the size of the place and the natural climate and everything else. But yeah, the weather had a bit to do with it as well, to be very honest in there too. And of course I have to do another 3-month mood tracker because the first one that I did was for the first 6 months, and this is for the remaining 3 months that I'll be able to fit into this bullet journal, which is good that I can get another bit in here. So like I said, this pop-ups are really easy. These are just called V-folds, and they're really, really very simple to do. And still quite effective, they still create a lot of texture and interest as well. So yeah, the only thing is, like, when you're putting them together, you've just got to make sure to sort of deconflict them a little bit. As you see, I just had to do with that. And as with whenever I think I've done any pop-ups, I always inevitably end up moving one of them, which is why the double-sided tape is really good. But I placed that one back a little bit too far, so you'll see when I'm doing this next bit here, when I had the camera off, I did actually move it forward again a little bit because, yeah, I just had placed it back a little bit too far in there too. So just putting a bit of that pattern in the front and making it more like water, so you get sort of like a full landscapey type effect. And that is my bullet journal for July. So I hope you like it. This is my birthday month, so there will be a lot more reflection and bits and pieces that will be happening for me during the month. But yeah, it's a very colourful layout, I think, but a very simple layout for this month. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you at the end of July for August. Bye.